Good day and welcome to today's Monday Live section with Chamo Koli. I am super excited to have you here. So, how are you doing today? It's almost the holiday, yes, almost because some schools, their pupils will still have to be in school this week and then graduation by weekend, and then we have our children to ourselves until September. I hope your heart is not skipping. I hope your heart is not doing boom, boom, boom. Okay? Well, if it is, this class is going to help you. I mean, this section is going to help you relax, put things into place, plan the holiday. Don't just allow it go anyhow. All right. I would say that holidays are very beautiful moments that parents should really utilize to analyze what their children have been through and the effect that is manifesting in their children, both the ones that have been in school and the ones at home. Because the ones that have been in school will learn something, bring it home, teach those at home. I can tell you from experience because I have three children. One has been in school, the other two I haven't been, I've been at home. And I can't tell you how many of the things my son is learning from school that I'm seeing in my daughter. Okay. And so holidays present us with a beautiful opportunity to sit back and see what is manifesting in our child or in our children and what we want. All right. And if you don't make out time to do this evaluation on yourself and teach the things you want to be taught, right? They will pile up and you suddenly wake up and you have a 10-year-old that you don't understand how he's behaving the way he's behaving or she's behaving the way she's behaving. Why? Because you didn't take time to really guide the child through. And so once again, you're welcome to today's Monday Live. I am your host, Choma Okoli. And if this is your first time in this channel, I am your early years parent coach, right? Early years. We talk about parenting as it relates to parents who have children within the ages of 0 to 6. All right. And even if you don't have your children are older than 6, or you have some children who are older than 6, you can still apply the principles and you will still have an amazing, amazing results. And again, if this is your first time, come on, this is where you have to be. Hit the subscription button immediately so that you get notified each time we go live on Mondays. And hey, from this Friday, we're going to be introducing a short video version. All right. It's not going to be the same thing with what we'll talk about on Mondays, but it's something, 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes, something you can work with in the weekend, something that will, keep your weekend in view or in perspective, like something like that. Right. So you're welcome. And the topic for today is 5 skills you must teach your child this holiday. 5 skills you must teach your child this holiday. And if it is just these 5 skills that you were able to achieve in your child this holiday, then you must have done a very amazing job. Trust me. Because the ripple effect is going to show in other areas of your child's life, even in the classroom and in other spheres. And I kid you not. I kid you not, because these are things I've put into practice myself and I've seen the amazing, amazing results. So you want to try it. So, what is skill number one? Skill number one is social skills. Social skills, right? Have you heard about that before? I'm assuming you must have. But how does it apply to children within the ages of 0 to 6? I'll let you know how. You know that a child less than 1 year, from the age of, well, it varies, right? But let me say that by the time a child gets to 9 years, the child knows when you're calling somebody, right? Yes, the child knows when you're calling somebody, and the child would readily answer even when you're not calling his or her name. Why? The child is trying to build social connection. Okay, the child is trying to gain social connection. The child has been observing how mommy and daddy interact, how mommy and the siblings interact, what goes on in the environment, the family dynamics. The child is picking all of those. So if you think my child is still 1 year or less than 1 year, what can I teach? What you can teach is by modeling good social skills, good interpersonal and intrapersonal communication. Model it. Yeah, model it. Right now, I have a 9 months old. My youngest is 9 months old. And when you call every other person in the house, he's going to answer and excitedly at that. So you call anybody in the house, he will answer. But if you call his own name, he will laugh. He will not answer his name, but he will answer every other person's name. How did he know? He's been observing what's going on in the environment. And so if you think it doesn't matter what is happening, you're wrong. You're wrong. If the family dynamics is not warm, if the family interaction is not warm, you leave the family every day worked up and angry. Your husband leaves the home every day, or even if you're a single parent, the people in the environment are not giving you the positive vibes, and your child is picking up those vibes and internalizing them. And his brain is saying, okay, this is how to behave. This is how these people have been behaving. And if this is how these people are behaving, then that's how everybody should behave. And even when they grow old and they see people who are warm, who are receptive, they are like, no, something is wrong. I should not trust these people. They are wrong. They are pretending. So there is a reason why the first 1 year, according to Eric Erickson, is known as the trust versus mistrust, as a psychological objective in that 1 year. Trust versus mistrust. A child is learning to trust, for crying out loud. The child is trying to. So, who do I trust? How do I trust? What sound do I make? Have you noticed that if you have a child less than 1 year and the child wants your attention, there is a staging in the cries. The child first tries to attract your attention. If you're not giving him attention, he will reduce this. The smile will reduce, and the child will still make the same signs. And you still don't give this child attention. The next thing the child will do, the child will start crying, and the tempo of the cry will increase if you don't respond soon enough. So no child is really ignorant of what is going on. They are watching what is going on, they are making impressions, they are picking them up. And so if you feel it's just a little child, you waste the first 6 years of your child's life. And trust me, because you didn't lay the blueprint, the right blueprint that you should, the conscious blueprint that you're actively engineering, you will have to, the consequences that both you and your child will have to work extra, 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 extra hard to undo the effect of the first 6 years I did not maximize. And so when I set out the Royalty Conclave, which is a community of parents who have children within the ages of 0 to 6, so every day there is a tool we are doing with our children. Every week there is a webinar we are listening to. Every month there is a book we are reviewing. And then other activities we do in there. It is because we know that the ways of royalties, if you want to raise a child that stands out, right, in the society and everywhere, you have to do what every other person isn't doing. You have to go beyond what is common, what is normal. You have to stretch yourself and do what you do. So when I tell people that in my house we don't eat breakfast until around 11 a.m. and this applies to my oldest two children and every other person in the house, and they're like, how do you do it? What do you mean? Well, my first son he'll be 5 years next month. My second child, who is a daughter, will be 3 years in September. But the two of them, including myself, we don't eat breakfast until around 11 a.m. How did we do it? Why did we even start it? Because I understand that self-regulation and impulse control cuts across different areas. An individual who cannot control his stomach, or who cannot sit with hunger, or who cannot delay gratification, is going to grow up to have issues with even bigger things like sex. We don't start teaching self-control around sex when a child is a teenager. You start it today. All right. So I'm going to drop the link to the Reality Conclave in the comment section. You can read more about it. And if you want to join us, you're welcome. You can read about it, you can read more about it, and then yeah, see what it is about. Okay, so social skills. I once came across a couple who teach their children not to greet people because it is not compulsory to greet. And I saw the effect that had on both the children and the parents. Everybody, every adult around hated these children, even though it wasn't the children's fault. It was an upgrade. It was an upbringing that their parents gave them. So if you're listening to me and maybe you didn't tell your children that kind of outright thing, but how do you encourage their greeting people? The world is hard already. The wise parent is the one who is teaching the child how to navigate the difficult world without unnecessary stress or stretch. Always when each time I find myself where children are, there is something I look out for. People, there are two things that make people like a child. And I mean like in the good sense of liking a child. Number one is a child that is extremely beautiful, extremely beautiful or handsome. I can tell you from experience, don't worry, I can tell you from experience. A child who is extremely beautiful or handsome, and a child that is smart. A child that is smart. And for the second category, it doesn't even matter if the child is not beautiful or handsome. Once that child is smart and can navigate around, shows independence, shows, you know, being coordinated, like your child will have the admiration of everyone around them. And it is easier for them to get along life or influence people to see their part of a conversation, their part of a stance, than a child who is just there, who can't relate with other people. So in this holiday, how do you teach it? First of all, how do your child wake up in the morning? Does your child greet you happily? Do you are you always saying greet good morning, greet good morning? Are you making it like a chore for your child to greet? No. And when visitors come, so right now, if visitors are coming to our house, we take time to tell the children who we are expecting and what they are coming for and how they are to welcome them. And if I'm stepping out of the house with my children, especially if we are taking public transport or we are walking on the way, I'm going to have to explain to them that when we enter keke, you greet the keke man, good morning, sir. If you go to your shop to buy something, you greet the person selling, good morning, ma, or good morning, sir. The ma answer must be there. It's not good morning. No. Sometimes my son will wake up and say, good morning. I'll look at him and say, you said? Good morning. You said? You don't say, good morning, ma. I said, correct. Go and greet your daddy. Daddy, good morning, sir. If it's my husband that they met first, he does the same thing. Teach your children, right, to be socially skilled. And so when I go in the morning, when we go to church on Sundays and I take my children to the children's session where they sit, no, my children don't sit with me in the church. Nah. I give them tissue, clean the entire place. And if there is another child sitting there, say hello to the child. You don't just sit and keep quiet. Say hello, smile. Don't just allow your child to figure life out. It's risky. It's making life difficult both for your child and for yourself. And that is not wonderful. Okay, so the next thing is what I choose to call kitchen skills. Yeah, I choose to call them kitchen skills because most times I hear parents who have children within the age of 36 tell you, "Hey, if I take my child to the kitchen, hot water will pour him, or you will drop on her. Hey, I don't want any accident." Blah 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 blah. Calm down, calm down. I understand it, right? So when do you want to start teaching your child exactly? When do you want to start taking your child into the kitchen? When he's 10 years or she's 10 years. And some of us will now be telling you how our 6 and 7 year old is making jollof rice, and you're like, how? And then you suddenly wake up and you're telling your 10 year old, see your mates that are cooking rice. Shut up. Don't even get there, because it's not it's not her mate or his mates doing what he cannot do. You simply didn't allow your child try out those things when we're allowing our own children to try it out. So don't go comparing your child with another child because of something you didn't do. So what can there be kitchen accidents? There can, yes, there can be accidents anywhere. There can be accidents anywhere. But the awareness that there can be accidents should actually make you put things in place so that there will be no accidents. How do you, as an individual, get into the kitchen and you're not burnt each time? You put things into perspective. Then you can say, but he's a child, he doesn't know anything. That's why before you take the child into the kitchen, you you teach what is obtainable and what is not obtainable. You teach your child, okay, so now we are going into the kitchen. This is the rules. If you want to stay in the kitchen with me, this is how it is done. This is what you need to do, and blah, 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 blah. And if you don't cooperate, I will take it to be that you don't want to stay in the kitchen, and the consequence is that you're going to leave. Now you ask me, what about the 1 year and two, those less than 2 years that cannot understand what you're saying? Okay, okay. So what you do is keep them at a corner that is safe. Keep them at a corner that is safe. And um um okay, okay, keep them in a corner that is safe. Keep them in a corner that is safe, and take away anything on the floor, like buckets of water that they can, you know, pour on the floor, or maybe hot pans or anything. Take them away. For those less than 1 year, they just want to hold things and try to stand. That's basically what they are trying to do. Close up your kitchen cabinet so that they don't open it and pour things away. But you see that connection, that connectivity that you are in the kitchen and your child is there, you need it as much as your child needs it. Sometimes I have all three of my children in the kitchen, and we are cooking, and nobody has been burnt. None of my kids has sustained any burnt injuries in the kitchen, and they won't. Yes, they won't. In fact, if you're boiling water or you're using a frying pan in the kitchen, my oldest son knows to tell you that this kettle nozzle is not facing correctly, because somebody can mistakenly miss their step, and the person will fall on that, and that is how the hot water will pour. So he knows to actually, he knows the safety skills. I'll still mention that as one of the skills. How did he know it? Because he has been taught. So the things we are afraid to expose our children to are actually the things that we're not taking time to teach them. There is nothing, like I will always say, children don't have a problem with learning. It's always the adults who are not willing to allow them to expose them to learn. I will say that anywhere. Children are always willing to learn. It is you and I, the adults, who are not willing to give them the opportunity to. And this holiday, please start with kitchen skills. Even if it is opening Maggie, right? If you still use Maggie anyway, if you still use Maggie, if you still use seasoning cube, even if it is pounding crayfish, even if it is, you know, um, washing vegetables, picking vegetables. The other day I made vegetable soup, and I was telling my niece stay with me, Nto, shebi before, if I buy vegetables for vegetable soup, people refuse to pluck especially the water leaf for me, and then it will be difficult. Now I have children who are helping me do it. And my first two, we sat around it and we're doing it happily, gisting and all of that. Don't always don't always be in the clique of those who want it sharp sharp. You want it so sharp sharp that you would rather allow them to sit and watch a cartoon while you cook. And then when you sit down to eat, you're tired. They do one thing like, do I blame you? Do you know how hard it is for me to cook? Do you know how much energy it took me to cook this food? Sorry, they don't know how much energy because they are not supposed to know now. How would they know when they were not in the kitchen with you? So please allow your child an opportunity to learn something, even if it is as simple as washing plates, even if it is as simple as returning their plate to the sink when they are done eating, or getting drinking water for everybody. I've always had helps from the first time I had, in fact, 2 weeks before I had my first child, I already had a help around. And ever since then, we've not been we've not stayed for more than 1 month without the help. And all my helps have been adults. All of them have been adults. So I'm really not in the I've always enjoyed help, but in the presence of helps, my children still get to do what they should do. They still get to learn what they should learn. Because those helps one day will leave. And I won't have to be handicapped because I never prepared my children for the time the help will leave. And this holiday is a beautiful moment for you to start that. All right. So the next skill is self-regulation skill. Now, these skills I'm mentioning, right? There are things you can start now. I cannot bet you that the holiday is enough time for them to become fully developed. Of course, that's not even feasible. I started teaching my first son how to wash plates in December 2023. As at that time, he had just clocked 3 years. Yes. He started learning how to wash plates December 2023. This is July 2025. He's still learning how to wash plates. But the difference is that he has moved. So uh, where we are now is in that stage where he knows how to wash plates, but he's learning to not use so much water. Yeah, so we're in that stage where we are now teaching um water economy, being fast, not being lost trying to play while rinsing the plates and all of that and all of that. So that's where we are. But as per washing plates, the young man can wash plates very well, wash pots for you, rinse, and he's also rinsing. Rinse at the same time, stack them in a tray. When he's done, clear the sink area, stack the plates on the plate rack, and then put the ones like the big pots inside the basket. So this holiday is a beautiful opportunity for you to start, but it's something that continues. It's not a one-time thing. So I just needed to clarify this so that you, at the end of the day, you say, I tried it, but my son did not learn it. My daughter did not learn it. My children did not learn it. It is something you can start now, but you should continue. Okay. So the next skill is self-regulation. By self-regulation, I'm talking about self-control, impulse control, delayed gratification. For those less than 1 year, self-regulation here is like giving them space to try out things, crawl around, hold things and stand. So in my room, my bed is close to the window. And so my 9 months old, since last month, would just readily crawl from the bed, hold the protector and all of that. And there's a cupboard beside my bed. So what did I do? There's a space in between the bed and the bedside cupboard. So once he gets there, what I do is I gather about 4 pillows from my bed, stack them, the one that will be on the wall, the one that will be on the bedside cupboard, and then two on the floor. And I will allow him and focus on whatever it is I'm doing. So one way he'll be playing, having fun, trying to call his siblings that he's not seeing, and making all the sounds and babbing and coos and all of that. We are fine. Then along the line, he will miss his step and would want to fall. Already there is something to receive him. Did I know there was a chance of a possibility or a chance of him falling? Yes, I do. That was why I arranged the pillow so that Whenever the falling is going to happen, because I know it will eventually happen, he will not injure himself. He will just fall. I'll look at him, will laugh, pick him up, drop him again. And everybody is busy. Allow your children, your less than 1 year, to explore. That's what the first 2 years is basically about. So when we talk about the oral stage, it's just a stage within the first 2 years where the child is trying to explore, gain pleasure, learn the environment by putting things in their mouths. So does it mean you should now allow your child to put anything inside, everything inside their mouth? No. But at least you understand that this child is trying to explore. So when the child is crawling around or looking for things to, provided the child there is no obvious harm that cannot be taken away from that place, allow the child to explore. In those things, the child is learning, okay, I can do this. Okay, if an adult says this, it means this isn't right, then I should come away, I should come out. Okay, if I see something that is strange, my 9 months old, if he sees something strange, you know what he will do? He'll start crying. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. What is this? What is this? But what do you think would happen? Or what do you think would happen if each time he's trying to move, he tries to move, we pull him back? He tries to stand and hold things to say, yo, you will fall, you broke your head. Oh yeah, come. I'll carry him. I will carry him. He wants to shake his body. Say, no, 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 you fell, you fall down, you break your head. We'll carry him. So he doesn't even have a sense of, can I can I control where I go to? Can I control how do I interact with these people? What do I do so that these people will allow me? What do these people exactly want from me? You deny your child that opportunity if you're always trying to hold them in. Okay. So the next one is, and then for self-control, and when your child does something wrong, don't always go to preach. Don't always go to correct. Can you have a conversation? Okay, you hit your sister and she's crying. How do you think your sister is feeling? Bad, angry, sad. Do you think it was right for you to hit her or hit him? No, that was not right. So, what will you do next time? If I want to hit her, I'll move away. Or if she does something that I don't like, instead of hitting her, I will tell her. And if she doesn't stop it, I'll go and tell an adult. So you're teaching your child to regulate his action, his impulse. For delayed gratification, this can come in the form of things that is eating. For instance, you go on the way, you buy snacks, and your child wants to start eating it immediately. You say, no, we don't eat on the road. When we get to the house, we can eat it, and all of that, and all of that. It's a good period for you to start teaching those if you haven't been. And if you have been, there's an opportunity for you to, you know, increase it. This is an opportunity for you to increase it. Now, the next skill is self-preservation skill. Guys, a lot is happening. Dear parents, a lot is happening. If you've not started sex educating your child, you are in for a long thing. Like, you are in for a long thing. It doesn't even matter if your child is in school or is not. And if your child is in school and you've not started talking about appropriate touch, inappropriate touch, good picture, bad picture, and all of that, and still increasing it as depending on the child's age and all of that and all of that, you are in for a long thing. There are stories of 2-year-olds being molested, stories of 3-year-old being exposed to pornographic content online and offline, physically, magazines, books. And you have a child and you're not educating the child. What are you doing? Self-preservation skill. So when somebody tries to molest the child, what is your child going to do when you've never mentioned anything about inappropriate touch or what to do in the case of such instance? Okay. Safety tips like how to be safe in a place the kitchen. My son has had two cuts from the sink since he started washing plates. And each time when it happens, the first one happened about 2 years ago when he started learning. Then the last one happened recently. He was trying to climb down to pick some plate on the floor, and then the way he held his hand and all of that, he got injured. So I now had to teach him. The first time was he has finished washing plates and he was washing the sink, but he wasn't mindful enough not to put his hand on the edge of the sink, and that injured him. So I had to teach him how to wash the sink without getting caught. And he hasn't been caught from washing the sink ever since then. But the one that happened recently was a different scenario. He was trying to climb down, and the way he kept his hand, he had a cut. So I now had to teach him, if you want to climb down, don't put your hand under the sink. Just place all your fingers on top and then get down. He has learned the safety skill. The other day I was teaching them, well, I was showing them a clip on YouTube. We're watching a clip on YouTube together, how to cut things in the kitchen, how to hold knife, how to hold the things you're cutting, and all of that and all of that. This is a good period to teach those. Maybe when you walk on the road, you don't go you don't go walking out of the pedestrian because of ABC. When you are in a car, you don't stick out your head, or keke, you don't stick out your head or your hand trying to point something to somebody, because another vehicle can crush your hand. And when you're saying crush your hand, you're serious, so that the child understands what you're saying. It may not make the child to stop it the one time you said it, but you can say it again and again. Let your children have a sense of safety. Let your children have a sense of safety. Don't just say, hey, he's a child. What does he know? He's a child. I just told you about a 9 months old who would see something strange and start crying because he doesn't know if he's safe or not. 9 months. How much more about 2, 3, 4, 5 years old that does not have a sense of safety? It's because that child hasn't been taught. It's not because the child cannot learn. All right. And then the last one, the last skill is executive functioning skills. I've placed it as the last because it captures everything, right? It captures everything. And I'm just going to give us a definition. This class is long already. I was looking at 30 minutes. So I'm just going to give us a definition. The executive functioning skills is a webinar that is one of the webinars in the Royalty Conclave program. So you really want to get in so that you get a full grasp of how this works. So you start applying it in your own life as an adult, as a parent, and then you start teaching your children. So this is a practical example of what executive functioning skill is. So let's say I asked my child to go and wash plates in the kitchen, and all the dirty dishes are scattered, the bowls are not there, and all of that. So executive functioning skill will let him know that I should pack the plates, I should stack the dirty plates together one side. I should get two bowls, one for washing, one for rinsing. I should pour water inside, enough water, not too much, just enough for washing and just enough for rinsing. I should get a tray and place it somewhere that I can easily reach, so that once I finish washing and rinsing, I'll drop it there. And when I'm done washing, I'll clear the sink, wash it off, wash the bowls, rinse them and stack them. Then I will come down, push my chair to the plate rack, climb, and then start putting the plates on the rack. So executive functioning skills, as a way of definition, is the mental processes that allows individuals to regulate behavior and achieve goals. Regulate behavior and achieve goals. So the behavior of stacking the plates, the behavior of getting the bowls, the behavior of pouring the water, getting the soap, getting the sponge, getting the tray, and then pushing his chair close to the sink so that he can stand on it and be able to access the sink and the bowls. And then when he's done washing the bowls, tidying the sink, and going to stack the plates, those are all behavior that allows him to achieve the goal of washing the plates. I hope it makes sense to you, and I hope you've learned something. And hey, you see these skills I mentioned? Nobody will teach your child if you don't teach him more. No school, no school We teach your child all of these skills consistent enough until your child start manifesting them. No, no school. Of course, I have immense and tremendous respect for teachers, but teachers are also human beings with their own challenges. So the emphasis for teachers has always been, both from parents, especially from parents, has always been to make sure that you finish the curriculum, make sure you teach my child everything that my child needs to pass the common entrance, to write to egg, pass jump, blah 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 blah. So even we, the parents, anyway, some of you, I know that WhatsApp group again. I've commuted since, yeah. I've commuted. I'm using commuted and I'm putting it. I have commuted. So the emphasis for teacher is always finish the curriculum, teach everything so that they will pass exam. Mana how pass check one exam? What about the other skills they need to thrive in life? Life is not only about ABC and 1, 2, 3. There is a whole lot more. And if you don't teach those things, your child can have the best of results. Growing up, there is one thing that my aunties used to say: passing C's is not passing sense. And each time they use that statement, it means they've come across a learned person that is misbehaving. Please don't let anybody make caricature of excellent results simply because you failed to teach your child real life skills because you were pursuing ABC and 1, 2, 3. IQ is important, but that's not the only kind of intelligence there is. That's not the only kind of intelligence that any child would need to thrive. So why would you want to limit your child to just IQ? All right, so this is where we are calling it a day, right? And I hope you see reasons why you should actually make teaching these skills, these 5 skills this holiday, a priority. You'll be grateful you did. And if you enjoyed this video, come on, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like it, love it, leave your comments, ask your questions, share this video in parenting communities you belong to. Your church CWO, your church women's group, your child school PTA. Share to your friends, other friends who have young children. You don't have to be having palpitations because of holiday. You don't have to keep shouting and telling everybody how these children are making life difficult for you. It's not the children making life difficult for you. You are the one making life difficult for the children by not teaching them what they should know. Holidays are very beautiful moments. In my house, I love holidays because it means we have all the time to do everything we want. I honestly love holidays in my house. And I'm sure my children do. All right. So thank you for staying here with me. And do have an amazing, amazing week ahead. Do not forget to check in here on Friday for the short weekend video. All right. Thank you for joining me and do have a beautiful day ahead.